Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's Career Chat. I'm Krista Harmon, a workforce development consultant with the Kent Intermediate School District, and I'm so delighted to have Larisa Stone with us today. She's an apprentice in the carpentry trade. Welcome, Larisa.
Hi, thanks for having me.
No, I'm super excited to have a young person who's starting their career chat with us today. We'd love to take people back to their high school. I know that's not as far away for you as for some of our mentors. But when you were in high school, maybe a sophomore, or junior, Larissa, did you think you'd grow up to be in the carpentry trade? Tell us what you were thinking at the time.
Honestly, I had no idea what I was going to be. I basically just listened to my classmates, my friends, heard what they wanted to do, and I'm like, oh, that sounds fun. Maybe I will go be a police officer or librarian or something. I never really had a straight idea. I had a ton of hobbies I like to do. Like, I had other jobs working in restaurants, but none of it I had no idea. I thought like maybe I'll go to college. My friends are going to college. I'll learn something there, pick up a career there. But other than that, I had no idea.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty common experience for a lot of young people. They don't really have an idea, and that's why we love career chat, so we can learn from other people and how they're figuring this all out. So when you look back at your as a young person and even in high school, what were some of those hobbies? And looking back a little bit, do you think any of those are giving you clues? So let's hear about your hobbies.
Some hobbies I had, well, I love to read, so I always thought maybe I could use that and go being a librarian or something like that. I had a woodshop class I took, and I ended up liking that. I would build stuff in my free time sometimes too at home, like cat scratching posts for my pets or little toy playgrounds for them. And I loved to go out in the outdoors. I'd be hiking, fishing, kayaking, all types of stuff like that. But
Yeah, I think that's really important as a career mentor that you're helping illustrate for young people who are watching this is to start to really pay attention to what you enjoy doing on your free time. And the fact that you had a woodshop class, but that you enjoyed it enough that you saw, oh, I could make this or that for my cats. I mean, that's just a little clue because I don't think about making things for, I'm just not mechanically inclined, so I don't even think like that. Um, and then being outside too, right? Some people are very content being inside, and obviously you're a reader, so at some level you liked it. But to start paying attention to clues, so I love that. So you're in high school and you're starting to hear what other people are thinking about and the woodshop class. What led you then to kind of start to think that the skilled trades might be a good fit for you?
I started off in woodshop class about middle school, and it was kind of like a forced, like one semester thing we had to do. At first, I wasn't thinking I was going to like it, but then I actually did like it. So I decided to take it as an elective for the rest of my middle school and high school career. And while doing it, like just the process of it all, I slowly fell more and more in love with it. In my junior year, I found out there's a career tech center in Traverse City that my school would send kids to, and there was a construction trades class there. So I decided, like, that's like wood shop. It also gets me out of school for half the day. So I'll go do that. A few of my friends had done it too, so we all went together, but found out I was the only one from my school in my class there. And at first, it was terrifying, brand new place and people. And I honestly thought I was going to drop the class at first. But then my teacher, he's very nice, and he saw me struggling, and he stepped up and started talking to me and helping me out and made me feel way more comfortable there. So I started he took me under his wing and started showing me a ton of stuff. I learned the different types of carpentry because woodshop class I only ever did furniture making. At construction trades class, I did framing, roofing, drywall, painting. I got to put my foot into every different type and find out which one's for me, which one I like doing. And that being there helped me decide, like, I want to do this for like the rest of my life if I can. And my teacher saw that. He saw my interest and willingness for it all. So he helped me find out what careers I could do and helped me get set up where I'm at now.
Great, and we're definitely going to dig into that because I love that next step that I know when I met you what that's about. But I think there's a few things I want to dig into about what you just shared, because I think this is a reality for young people. Going off to the tech center can be very overwhelming and scary, because you're leaving your high school for half the day. And I love that you had some friends that were going out there too. But like you said, you ended up in class by yourself. And I love that the teacher kind of took you under their wing. What would you say to kids that is one of the reasons they're like, I don't know, because that does seem really scary. What would you want them to know, but based on your experience?
To just experience it. Like, you don't know how it's gonna go when you first do it. Like, it sounds scary, it sounds terrifying, but you don't know until you do it. So try it. If you still don't like it, you have the chance to drop it and go back to whatever else you want to do. So if you
Yeah.
don't experience it, you don't know.
Yeah, I think that's such a good life lesson that I hear from other career mentors too, is you just have to try it. You don't know what you don't know. And the fact that you were in middle school and high school woodshop class, you had enough of a background that you're willing to take that risk. And so I think that's so great. Also for young people that are watching this, to check out if your area has a tech center, because one thing I love that you were talking about, Larissa, is that sampling of just different things. The roofing and the framing and the painting. So when you were doing all that, what were some clues that you knew that maybe roofing wasn't it, but carpentry was? What do you remember? How did you figure that out?
I think it was more of like I got introduced to it all with woodshop first, so that kind of gave me a little foot up in that area. I knew it more. I knew I enjoyed it. And roofing was, I just didn't feel like it was my place to be up on a roof all the time. Like, I'm kind of afraid of heights. I know I'm not going to do well up there, and like with some of the conditions people will work in, I'm like, that's not for me. Then drywall, like, it can be fun doing it, but some of the movements are like a lot of wrist work with it. It can be a toll on the body, and I knew I was not going to be able to do that for the rest of my life. And like, that's all kind of doing like the same thing. I'm on a roof all day, or I'm on walls all day. With carpentry, I could be building a table, I could be building a chair, a bench, a bed frame. There's so many different possibilities of what I could create.
Yeah, and I love that that's the benefit of doing a tech center program, or even if a young person doesn't have one, they can volunteer, somewhere like Habitat for Humanity and just try things out, because what you're modeling by that conversation is that self-assessment. You're starting to ask yourself, do I want to be outside? Do I like the idea of being inside? Do I want to do the same things each day? Do I want variety? So getting kids to understand, you have to start asking yourself those questions, and you don't know until you experience some of it, right?
Yeah.
So you are at the tech center, and as part of your senior year, did you get an opportunity then to get connected with an employer? Tell us about that and how that came to be.
I started the Career Tech Center in my junior year, and that was when I was first getting into it all, finding out what I liked, what I didn't. And I went up to my teacher and I was talking to him about possible job opportunities. And he took what I'd told him and found me this one job for the summer between junior and senior year at this one company where I was mainly working with countertops and like doing that type of work. So I got to try something new for the summer, see if I liked it. And after that, I decided like that I like it, but that's not for me. I don't want to do that all the time. It was a nice little step in, but senior year I came back to the Career Tech Center and I talked to my teacher. I was telling him how like I like that, but I told him some other things I like. Like, I like going outside, I like traveling, I like doing this like furniture work and stuff. So he took all that and he's like, oh, I know the company. There's Seeds. They do woodworking, they do outside stuff, they travel to different parts of the state. Let's try that for you. Let's get an interview with them for you, see if you like it.
So that networking, your teacher being kind of an advocate for you was pretty key. And
Yes.
so, yeah, and that comes up a lot in our career chats, just of the network that you put around you, the people that you meet, and why it's so important to be a good worker, right? So that people can advocate for you. Why do you think your teacher was so helpful to you? were there some, and I know it's kind of, you have to be humble about this, but what were you demonstrating, Larissa, that your teacher was willing to put their own reputation out on the line to do this for you?
I think it was because I was one of the few females in the class, and the others, like, I just talked to him more. Like, he opened up to me, so I was like, okay, you're safe to talk to. I'm okay opening up to you, joking with you. Like, I opened up way more to him compared to other students. We had a good student teacher relationship going, and that helped me communicate with him way better, and it helped him help me getting like figuring out what type of work I could do, helping teach me work that I wanted to do. So I think the good communication between us is what really helped.
Yeah, and I think that's absolutely true. That communication is definitely key. I have to imagine you were showing up to class on time and working hard as well.
Oh yeah, I don't like being late.
Yeah, because I think the other thing for young people, when you're working hard and doing your best, people see that and they will put their own reputation on the line because they know you're going to be a good worker. So that's great. So you end up at this company, and you got, so it was part like an internship, a co-op, what do they kind of call it? And then did you get paid for this? And how often did you do this each week?
It started off as a job shadow. So like my first week there, I'd go in either after school or on Thursdays I'd do a instead of going to CTC, I'd go to the job and work there for the rest of the day. And I did the job shadow, decide to see if I liked the place, if they liked me, how much I liked it all. And after that, I decided I did like it. Like this place is cool. I like the work, I like the people. So we got the next step going and it came a co-op. So for the seeds, the business I'm with, they only are Monday through Thursday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'd go there after school and work the afternoon with them. And then Thursdays, I'd do a co-op during class. So leave class, go there, and then I'd have the weekend off. But it was nice.
And was that a paid internship for you? A paid opportunity?
Yes, I did get paid the starting wage there.
Yeah, that's kind of nice as a high school student to start
Yes,
making some
very
money.
much.
Yeah. And I love that they ramped you up, that you got to job shadow a little bit first. And I guess that's my encouragement to any young person watching this is to seek out the opportunity just to kind of test it out. That's very normal to be able to ask for that because sometimes young people don't know how some of this works. So that's really helpful to hear. So one of the things that I was excited when I met you is that you were able to kind of help translate this co-op experience into an actual registered apprenticeship. So before we get into that, why don't you explain to some young people if they don't know what an apprenticeship is? Let's talk about that first, explain that, and then how this got to become an apprenticeship.
Apprenticeship, it's kind of like the training process of becoming like a journeyman or master of a job. So you start off like the job as an apprentice. You don't really know anything, and that's good. They want to teach you all that so they can help you learn how to become like a journeyman or a master of it. So the company will have you in the future to work like teach other people that and have a good worker. So apprenticeship, you're basically getting paid to learn all this knowledge to help the company. And it's a great process. I enjoy it. It's way better than college. Instead of going in debt, I get paid to learn and teach and put my knowledge to the test and build stuff.
Yeah, I think that's so important for young people to understand that there's a learn on the job option and that you literally are getting paid while somebody teaches you about the trade. You're not going off to school. You're doing it every day, Monday through Friday, like a job. You're paying and you get health benefits, right? And vacation and all that while you're learning, no college debt. And some of the classwork you take maybe one day a week, some classes, and the company's paying for that as well, right?
With CTC, I didn't have to take
That's
classes.
right.
They counted Career Tech Center as my class time. So I got to take the classwork there and put it into the classwork I needed for the apprenticeship.
Yeah, that's just a win-win. I hope all the school counselors on this call are understanding that students can get registered as an apprentice while they're in high school. So everything they're learning in the classroom counts as that classroom time for the apprenticeship. That's fantastic. Why don't you give us an understanding, and maybe it's a little different because you started at CTC, but if a student who's not part of a tech center is hearing this, what might be a recommendation for how they get started? Do they just go to an employer? Do they go to a union hall? Do you have any sense of how someone would get started in something like this?
I'd say talk to like a teacher or counselor first, see if they can help you. But if you have like an idea of where you want to go already, like, yeah, reach out to the company, talk to them about it, see if they're willing to set up the apprenticeship through Michigan Works, see if that'll get the ball rolling.
Yeah, that's a great resource that you just mentioned, Michigan Works. So anybody who's watching this that doesn't have a tech center, whole state of Michigan have Michigan Works offices and they can help facilitate that. So tell me a little bit about what you like about your average day. What's your favorite part and maybe what your least favorite part is too?
Ooh, my favorite part would probably honestly the people I get to work with because it's all different types. I'll be with high schoolers in the summer, but like older people too. Everyone's so kind and friendly and willing to help me. I don't feel like overwhelmed or like an idiot. They're willing to step up and help me, and I can go to them and talk to them and ask them for help whenever I need. I like being able to finish projects too. Projects being able after months of being on this one project, seeing it all come together and the finished part is so satisfying.
Yeah, I think that's a key piece for people who like to do a project and finish it, do a project and finish it. The trades could be for you. That's very like for me or even teachers, right? You or social workers, they're starting with a person, but you may never see it come to fruition. So this is my dad helped build a road in Port Huron, and every time I go to Port Huron, I help build that road. So
Yes,
if
that
that's
is
something that
very
you enjoy. Exactly. So you brought up the fact that you're one of few females in the industry, and I mean, it's still like hovers around 2 to 3% nationally for women in the trades. It's still dismal, and I've been working in this for 20 years, and it's still 2%. How has that been experienced? Like, what would you want other girls to know when they're thinking like, oh, is that the right fit for me? Because not very many girls do it.
Honestly, for females, like it you do get shunned a lot or like you can't do that. You're a girl, you're not strong enough. I say don't listen to them. Do what you want to do. Like you I've had girls like at work who are stronger than some of the guys. They'll be way more hardworking, optimistic. Some of the females are like the hardest workers we have. So just because the guys or other people say you can't do it doesn't mean you actually can't. If you set your mind to it, you can do whatever you want.
Absolutely. And I know there's different techniques sometimes women use to leverage their body weight in different ways, right? It's just learning techniques that make you be able to do the job just as well. So I'm glad you addressed that myth right away and say, don't listen to that. And I've heard from employers that they actually like having females on the job because women tend to not be messing around with the big expensive equipment as much as the guys, perhaps.
Yeah.
Um, what are some things that maybe you don't like about it, Larissa?
Again, some people like can be a pain. We'll have go out and like have clients that we work with and they can be very rude sometimes or like their way only. We can't suggest other stuff. So that gets frustrating and hard sometimes. When we have some machines or like tools break on us or some unexpected problem come up during a project, that can be hard to work with, but we come up with solutions, so that's helpful.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Um, what about not having to get dressed up every day? Is that part of something across that like, man, I don't want to have to get dressed up and go to an office every day? Is that part of a perk too? That you can
Yes.
buy your clothes at Goodwill and not worry about spending a lot of money and then look nice later on the weekends or evenings?
Yeah. With my job, I get dirty a lot. Like, I'll come home and I'll just be covered head to toe in dirt or sawdust or something. So it's nice being able to just have like work clothes that are always greasy or dirty and it's nice not having to worry about makeup or styling my hair. It's I have way less time to get ready and I can go just like it's way better than having to get all pretty and
Yeah, like you say, you could do that on your own time, but you don't have to worry about it Monday through Friday kind of thing. That's great. Um, when you think about the skilled trades and where your career is going from here, because you're in your final year, I believe, of your apprenticeship.
yes,
Yep.
I will be graduating in a month, so looking forward to that. There is word about having me start another apprenticeship possibly to get more knowledge because 1 year is not really enough to learn everything. So I'm hoping that comes to and I can do that. Otherwise, kind of want to stay where I'm at, learn as much as I can, and go from there. I will hopefully one day want to have my own little furniture making business, make my own furniture and sell it whoever I want with whatever clients I want.
Yeah, custom furniture sounds like it could be pretty lucrative.
Yes.
Yes, and so I did want to clarify, like a full registered apprenticeship in general tends to be about a 4-year commitment,
Yeah.
right? That you have to, and you're actually getting raises every 6 months through that 4 years before you become a journeyman. A journey person, I guess is probably the correct term. And so, yeah, so you're just getting going. And so that additional training so you can get all the credentials you need. And when someone becomes a journey person, can they take that credential of being a journey person, carpenter anywhere in the country?
I think so, yeah. I'm not positive on it, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's like a college degree in the sense that you've earned it and no one can ever take it away from you. And so I want you people to understand it's such a great option for after high school. Yeah. I'm a big fan. My dad was a tradesperson as well.
Nice.
So when you think about your own furniture, we'll just help you kind of dream about that for a minute. When you think about some of the work that you've done and that you'd like to aspire to, do you still do things on your own? Like, or are you just too tired from your work day? Like, are you starting to dabble in some design and building of your own things?
As of right now, I'm kind of like I have some small little things I'll do, like building more little cat toys for my cats or like Christmas or birthday presents for family members. But I can't really do as much since I'm like 19 years old. I don't have really a good place to set up my own wood shop fully. So with my apartment, I can't really do any of that. But
So as a 19-year-old, do you have your own apartment?
I live in a apartment with my sister, yes.
Yeah, I think that's pretty amazing to point out that as a young person, you're earning money to be able to start launching into adulthood. I don't think you should underestimate that accomplishment. That's great.
Oh yeah.
What would you, if you were to look back, and I know you're only 19, but is there anything that you would encourage young people to do while they're in high school to do more exploration or any camps that you might have heard about? Anything that just, again, I want to help people kind of make this choice for themselves and any other ideas that you might have.
Well, in high school, like if you're looking into doing this career, talk to people. Your counselor, a teacher, parents, friends, like anyone who you know who is in that career or has knowledge of it, reach out to people, talk to them because they could help you get the knowledge you need or get the training you need. They could help set up like co-ops or if you have a career tech center, go there, learn there because they are very helpful with getting you set up for the future.
Yeah, and I think that's what I wanted to point out here as we get close to finishing up is there demand, Larissa? I mean, you're going to have job security. Tell the young people what you know about the need for the skilled trades.
There's a lot of need for it. We do not have enough workers. So if you really want to do it, do it.
Yeah, it's actually for people watching this, it's almost becoming a little bit of a crisis. So many older white men are retiring out that we truly do have a shortage of skilled tradespeople. So let's just give them a couple traits about you and maybe people you know in the trades so that people can start to self-assess. So obviously like doing project kind of stuff, work with your hands, any other kind of personal qualities or personality types that you think excel?
Having a willingness and eagerness to learn, that helps you a lot. So if you come in and you want to learn, if you like are very interested, that's great. We're going to help you. We're going to teach you everything you want to know and probably more than you wanted to know. But if you don't come in without wanting to learn, then it's not going to be good for anyone. You're not going to be helping yourself. Not going to be helping us. It's just going to be a bad day for everyone. Just willing and eagerness to learn.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic quality because that does seem to be something I know across the board of people in the trades that they're just like to learn and they just like to just keep developing. What about, when you think about math, like, do you have to be like fantastic at math, or could you learn math on the way? Tell us about maybe some of that true or not true about math.
Math, like, you don't have to be a genius in math to know it. You can always still get taught by other people. There's still some in math that I don't know as much that my coworkers will walk me through. I'm not a genius in math. I know like some basic how to add and subtract and fractions, and I learned a lot through CTC math classes. They'd have us take math classes, and then we take that math we learned and take it and actually use it in the field to build stuff. So that was helpful. But math though, yeah, we use it, but it's not a guaranteed like need for it.
Yeah, and I guess that's one of those myths I want to address for young people watching this, is that it's called applied math. When you learn fractions, it means something when you're measuring things, and it might make it a little easier for you to understand when you're
Yes.
applying the math, right? Just than a worksheet at
Yeah.
school.
I do a lot of fractions work.
Yeah, that's great. You've been a great career role model so far, Larisa, and we're just finishing up now. So I'd just love for you to take a minute and just share anything you would want to encourage a young person or a parent even whose kids thinking about this, about the trades and what you want them to.
My word of advice is do what you want to do. Don't do it because your parents want you to do it or your friends want you to do it. Do it because you want to learn it, that you're interested in it. That helps you a lot if you have that will and you just want to learn it all. Have fun with it. Don't just go in it because you're forced to.
Yeah, and I can see by our 30 minutes together that you really enjoy the career path you're on, and I'm so happy for you. So thanks for being such a great role model today.
Thank you.